I'm Big Dave, the parks professor. For 27 years, I've been taking hiking trips all over the United States to enjoy and share with you the glory of God's creation in its natural state. In this video, I want to share my 4 favorite hikes from my hiking trip to Western Massachusetts and Northeast Pennsylvania in September 2023. These hikes are presented in no particular order, and there are no real selection criteria other than I really enjoyed the hike. For my first favorite hike, we have the South Sugarloaf Loop at Mount Sugarloaf State Reservation in Western Massachusetts. There are 2 trails that lead to the top of South Sugarloaf, a very steep trail that goes directly up the south face, and a longer, not quite as steep trail that loops around and up the north face. I chose the longer option, and I was glad I did. The trail starts very mellow along the base of the hill, but soon the trail turns right to start climbing on a moderate to steep grade. Soon you reach a saddle where you intersect the Pocumtuck Ridge Trail, which goes left and right. Going left leads to North Sugarloaf, but I turned right to head back south towards South Sugarloaf. After some steep climbing, you reach the first viewpoint, which is a nice view over the Connecticut River Valley and hills to the east. A little later, you reach the Summit Observation Tower with spectacular views in every direction. This park dates to 1907, so not only are the views great, but the woods are great also. This hike is popular, but if you're in Western Massachusetts, you really want to do this hike. For my next favorite hike, we find the Shades of Death Trail at Hickory Run State Park in Northeast Pennsylvania. This hike is an out and back that follows the bank of Sand Spring Run. I started at the west end of the trail and hiked upstream to the east. Along the way, you pass 4 man-made dams, starting with a very old stone dam that no longer holds water. Toward the east end of the trail, you pass the spectacular CCC Dam and the interesting but not as spectacular Dam number 5. These dams form waterfalls that are very scenic, even though they are man-made. Sand Spring Run itself is also very scenic, and in some sense I enjoyed the natural cascades in the stream more than the man-made waterfalls at the dams. The forest is old-growth forest that features a lot of rhododendron. This trail is not particularly steep, but it is very rocky with lots of roots. Thus, the going will be slower than you expect, but you'll want to take your time to see the scenery anyway. If you can handle a trail that's a little on the rough side, then you'll enjoy this hike. My third favorite hike from this trip is the hike to Bish Falls in the Taconic Mountains along the New York-Massachusetts border in southwest Massachusetts. There are several places where you could start this hike, but I started at the old Copake Ironworks in New York's Taconic State Park. These ironworks produced pig iron from 1848 until 1903, and it is one of the most intact rural ironworks in the region. An old ironworks building is now a museum. After you start hiking to the waterfall, you pass Day Pond, which served as a water source for the iron furnace. After a half mile of fairly easy hiking, you reach the Bish Falls Trail parking lot on New York 344, where most people start a hike to Bish Falls. But I was very happy with the way my hike worked out. Starting at the old ironworks added a half mile of easy hiking each way, but I got to see some great regional history. The rest of the hike to the falls is a moderate climb on wide trail that takes you across the state line to the waterfall viewing area. Bish Falls is the tallest waterfall in Massachusetts, and its rocky cascades make for a scenic drop. Retracing your steps downstream along scenic Bish Brook returns you to the ironworks to complete the hike. This hike is popular, but popular for a reason. If you come here during the shoulder season like I did, you'll have a great hike. My final favorite hike on this trip was the Jones Nose Round Rock Loop at Mount Greylock State Reservation in northwest Massachusetts. Mount Greylock is the highest point in Massachusetts, so most people drive straight to the summit area, which is accessed by a paved road. While there are hiking trails near the summit, all of those trails are quite hard, so I chose to hike this loop trail, which is an easier option that leads to another nice view. I started at the Jones Nose Trailhead and hiked south on the Woodson Springs Trail. All trails at the park are primitive, rocky, and rooty, and this is the oldest state park in Massachusetts. Thus, much of this hike has an almost wilderness feel to it. After crossing the summit road, you climb moderately to reach Round Rock. 2 viewpoints provide fantastic views from the side of Mount Greylock, one to the south and one to the west. Past the viewpoints, you have to climb down a small rock ledge to intersect the Northrop Trail, where a right turn and gradual climb bring you back to the Jones Nose Trailhead to complete the loop. This is a good hike to complement your visit to the summit of Mount Greylock, and it's not particularly crowded if you come here in the shoulder season like I did. Well, there you have it, my 4 favorite hikes from my September 2023 hiking trip to western Massachusetts and northeast Pennsylvania. You can view videos for these 4 hikes and all 15 hikes from that trip using the Trip Number 19 playlist on this channel. Until next time, I am Big Dave, the Parks Professor for Parking Full Time. Have a great afternoon, take care, and Lord bless.